Hello, welcome at nimaan.ahumblevoice, and this is Q&A session part 2, which is basically aiming to answer some questions that I've received, that is generic questions that bothers peace of mind. So some of these questions might be relevant to you and some not. And before we go ahead, I'd like to say thank you to all and who send these questions. And thank you for all your love and support for part 1 video. We'll just dive into the questions. So this question is, post-COVID, I got very stressed from the lockdowns. There's no freedom, no life. I cannot go to college. Online lectures are adding to the stress, and no face-to-face contact with friends, no fun. I'm afraid that I might become a non-social person. What do I do? I think this is a story of everyone, not even like if you are a student, even almost every person from child to grown up who is working. So I'd like to share a story here, a story of Buddha. In Indian English, is story of Buddha. It's just a different way of saying Buddha. Mahatma Buddha. Buddha was going with his disciple, and he stopped outside a village, and he told one of his disciples to go and get some water. And disciple, he went to get some water. He found a pond. He was so happy that he found a pond, and he went forward to get some water. When he reached there, he saw it was like full on. There were animals drinking water. There were women washing their clothes, and there were children jumping and bathing in the pond. So it was all muddy, and he couldn't find clean water. He got so furious. He said, "Oh, what a mess. These villagers, they have no sense. People need to drink water, and then they're really untidy and messy people." He went back empty-handed, and he told Buddha, "I found, but these people are really messy, and then it's really dirty water we cannot drink." And Buddha smiled, and he kept quiet. And what he did, he told him to go back to the same pond after some time. And disciple, he couldn't say no, but he didn't have choice. He didn't want to go though. So he went, and he went to the same pond, thinking, "Oh, I don't know why I'm going." But to his surprise, when he reached there, he found there was no one there. It was all crystal clear, pristine water. He could actually see the bottom of the pond so well. So he got some water. He was really surprised, and he got back with some water on the way while thinking, and he understood. So here, the reason why I shared this story is things might look messy and unsettled, chaotic, when there's too much movement, there's too much going on. And things that like unpredictable things come, and it's like movement makes things sometimes unclear. So this COVID thing is a movement. It's a temporary movement. It's making things unclear. So how we can see clearly if we just let the chaos settle down, let this time settle down. So the bottom line of the story is, wait, when there is too much going on, too much movement going on, just let it go. It's easy to get carried away to the negative voices in your head. And it's really easy for me to say, let it go, but practically applying it takes a huge effort. And what it needs is your stronger mindset to deal with any situation. Anything comes in mind, anything comes in life, any situation comes in front of you. If your mindset is strong, it's much easier to go through that change to the situation, to the challenge. It's easier to pass through the difficulties, or we call it difficulties. So seeing beneath the surface is like seeing deeper. But how do we do it deeper? So to back this concept logically, like scientifically, so in NLP there is a technique called cause and effect. So what cause and effect concept is? So in this situation, when you see everything is shut, you're alone, no one to see, no one to talk to, homeschooling, home classes, working from home, even people who work from home don't get to see many people, or it's change in the lifestyle that we didn't expect to change. Even I think our generation, all the generations, living generations, they have never experienced anything like that, what's going on. So we can't do anything, we can't change the situation, right? So but changing our thinking, changing our mindset as per like cause and effect can help. And I'll explain how it helps. So what is cause and effect? So anything and everything happens now, or happened in the past, or will happen in the future, is all connected. Everything is connected. So what happened in the past made it, the result of that is what's happening now. And what's happening now is causing, what will happen in the future. So if we change our thinking that at this moment, this time, is not an effect of what happened in the past. So I've been cut down from my classes, from seeing my friends, and result of that cutting off myself from social life is me feeling lonely. If you think that, so you're in the effect side, which is not helpful. Which effect side means you have no charge of your life, of yourself. So if you think that you are on the cause side, just imagine or change your thinking. See it this way, that this time you shutting down from this social life, from friends, and then you're doing homeschooling, and then you're working from home, or like it's different time. It's a cause of you becoming stronger, causing you to become more resilient in your life. So in short, I'll say change your concept, change your focus from being in effect side to cause side. Don't think that you are in effect. Your loneliness or you feeling low, that's an effect of something happened, like this pandemic happened, or this change of the lifestyle happened. Don't let any change cause change in you. Don't let anything take you down, pull you down. You're much stronger than any situation. That's the spark you have. So changing that mindset from effect, so just change it to cause. Think that you have all the charge, you have all the power, you have all the energy. You have this is an opportunity to think that you can cause what you want. You can make that change. You can create the future of your desire. So this time, take an opportunity that cutting off from social life is just a test for you, and it's not making you weaker. You're getting stronger. It's time for you to reflect back how strong you are and how strongly you need to build your mindset. Next question is, I often forget stuff. I believe that I keep thinking all the time. Sometimes I'm too lost that I'm preoccupied with my train of thoughts, and I always get blank about what I'm supposed to do, where I'm supposed to go. Why am I not present where I am? That just reminded me Punjabi phrase, actually Shri Guru Amar Das Ji, he said, Chinta chad chinta raho. Leave all the worries, be carefree. So what exactly is happening here? I see that your mind is not present in the present moment. So it's either lost in the past, or it's wandering in the future, or just thinking what something has never happened. Obviously, future, we don't know what's going to happen. It's continuously thinking of something that present moment has no excess of. So those things are more important than what's there in the present. So what we need to do here is we need to feed mind something more interesting. It's just like when kids don't eat or they don't take medicine, we try to make it more interesting or more appealing. So that's what we need to do. We need to make this present moment more appealing to our mind. There are a few things we can do. We can indulge in something that takes your interest, like intrigues you, maybe something really interesting activity that requires your mind and your physical body as well. So maybe something like exercise. And okay, so here are a few of the things can be done. A brain has it's really strange, very interesting. Brain is really interesting how it works, the way it works. And one of its trait is to be involved in look for something new, to get involved in something that's really intriguing, really interesting. So when we start something, a brain is really curious to start really excited to do something new. And then you, for example, you start writing an article, or when you start any new task, your brain is all packed, jammed, really energetic. So but as you carry on with that task, brain's energy gets starts going down, and because there's nothing new, it becomes like a monotonous task for brain to carry on, because it's really energetic. And then something else, brain's also anyway always looking for something else comes in, and then your brain convinces you to do that task first. So you leave your first task which you're doing, and then you switch to the other task, and you start doing that, and then so on. So what I mean to say is, we have a lot of unfinished jobs pending, thinking, oh, maybe that's not the time, that something else is more important. That's basically the reason why we leave what we're doing, and then we grab something else we prioritize something else without finishing the first task. So what happens here when you make a list? So your task now is to make a list of the things that you have that are important, you started doing, that you need to do, you need to finish. And there will be some things that you need to start doing soon, and to your surprise, there'll be a lot of things you need to finish. There'll be a lot of unfinished stuff. So what is happening now, you don't realize your logical brain is busy looking for new stuff, and you don't know what, but your subconscious, your unconscious mind knows that you already started something and that's important, but you haven't finished it. So that's one of the reasons why our mind wanders. So creating a list and following it, or just going through and then finishing the unfinished pending stuff, that helps. Believe me, it helps. So another thing we can do is to stop your mind wandering in future or past. You can feed something more interesting in present. It sounds tricky, isn't it? So what I mean to say is, introduce something interesting that you really feel like you really love doing. So do spend some time in your life satisfying your senses, your mind, where you feel that you're fulfilling, and maybe some hobby, you pursue some hobby, or maybe some sport where you use your brain and your body, you're like whole, and you exercise. So all these things happen. What happened then, you when you actually follow your hobby, or you spend time for yourself, basically, so your mind is relaxed, your mind is satisfied, and when your mind is satisfied, it tends to be more present. There are less reasons. There are actually no reasons to go in the future or past. And the second thing, when you exercise, when you use your brain and your body together, you're training yourself, you're telling your body and mind to work actively together, to work where you're physically at. So when you train your body, you train your mind to work with your body like that, it helps. It tends to be more present than wandering in the future or past. So the next thing I would say is practice gratitude. And I'm sure that I'm not the only one who's saying this for the first time. You would have heard it a few times. But sharing my experience, I've been practicing gratitude actively, consciously every day, at least for the last 4-5 years or so. And this is how I see things differently. So just imagine there is a glass of lemonade. It's half filled. It's not fully filled. So if I do not practice gratitude, I would be looking at it and I'll say, why is it half? Who drank it? Or might be furious. Did someone spill my drink? How dare someone doing that? Or why am I getting half of the drink? I deserve to get a full glass of lemonade. I'm not drinking it because that's missing. Who drank it? Like, you'll be worried, you'll be more into thinking about, why is it half? Where is the half part gone? So, but now when I practice gratitude, this is how I see things. Wow, that's lemonade. That looks very appealing. That looks very, that feels really cool. I wonder how it'll taste. Will it be sweet or it'll be salty? Or I really can't wait to drink it, and I wonder how refreshing it will be. So your focus changes from complaining, from thinking about the thing that you don't have, to appreciating things that you have. I believe that these tips will be quite helpful for you. Okay, we'll move to the next question. I just had a breakup. How do I deal with rejection? Emotional health is commonly misunderstood part of our life. Actually, it's more neglected part. But things are changing. In olden days, nobody actually cared about emotional health, your emotions, sentiments. But slowly things are changing, and people are actually being more aware of emotional health. Emotional health is a part of mental health because these are connected. So here in this situation, feeling sad, broken, it's normal. Everything is normal. Say all these emotions, if you think you're trying to control, that is unnatural. Natural way is to have all these emotions. Just don't hold on. But the thing is how quickly you switch from negative emotional state to positive, how quickly you bounce back. So here we'll come back to this question. Just imagine that you've got a pizza, and there are 8 slices or 10 slices or 6 slices, how many slices you want to make. So you grabbed one slice, and then you're about to eat it and fell on the ground. So it got really, you can't eat. It's all over. It's gone. And what do you do in that situation? Do you, pick up that slice back again, and then you cry your life over, and then you feel sad all day and skip your dinner and lock yourself, you feel sad just one because you dropped that slice of pizza, or you pick it up, you feel sad that it happened, that's okay, and then you put it in the bin, or in the green bin or whatever, and then you see, oh, there are other slices of the pizza left, and then you start eating those slices. What do? Answer is quite obvious. You're not going to cry your life over on one slice of pizza. So here what I'm going to say is, imagine that your life is like that pizza, and your relationship was that one small slice of your whole life. It didn't work, it fell off, so you feel bad, obviously. It was something that was important to you, but that's all right. Don't let yourself down. Don't feel, take it to the heart, and then put it, chuck it out, and then focus on the bigger part of the pizza that you have. That's your family. That are your parents. That are your friends. That are your people who care for you, who look up to you. All these people are there. All that big portion of pizza is there for you. And that's what is important for you. Okay, so be practical. If somebody has rejected you, it doesn't mean that you do not deserve something. It doesn't mean that something is wrong with you. So breakup doesn't mean rejection. It means, parting ways. Two people were together, and then they think, things didn't work well, so they just part away. It's quite a difficult situation too. It's feeling of sadness. So remember that sadness, feeling of grief, feeling low has two parts. One is loss, the loss of relationship, emotions, the memories, everything. That everything is lost. And the other thing is remaking of life, rebuilding yourself, rebuilding your emotions, rebuilding your state of mind, bouncing back from the situation. So the sooner you do it, the easier and the better it is for you. Okay, so the next question actually will address two questions together. So the first question is, my young adult child doesn't listen to me. I see him ignoring me and not seeing me for months. I feel disheartened. How do I cope? And the second question is, my married life is like a roller coaster ride. Sometimes fine, sometimes great, and sometimes I feel dragging myself in the relationship, not being given respect. So here both the situations are different, totally different, but I see one common cause here, one common issue here. So before we go ahead discussing these questions, just have a look at this picture and tell me what you see. Do you see two faces? Or it's no challenge, no quiz, what you see first, or you see a vase. I said that, I give you a hint anyway. So the reason why I showed you this picture is, if you say you see two faces and somebody else comes and say, no, that's a vase, and then you say, no, there are two faces, and then somebody says, no, it's a vase. And then who's right, who's wrong? It's not about being right or wrong, or pointing someone out and saying you're wrong. It's the same picture. Here the thing is, you perceive things differently and somebody else perceives the same thing differently. So in the same picture you noticed faces, and in the same picture somebody else noticed the vase. So there is no right or no wrong. And even if you notice both things and somebody noticed one thing and then again you're arguing, there's no point. So the reality in the same thing applies in life, in real life, as in one situation, you and somebody else will be in the same situation, but exactly same thing, but will see the things differently, will have different opinion, totally different opinion. So instead of telling the person you are wrong, what is the right thing to say? What I'm trying to say is, no two people will have the same imagination, same way of perceiving things. For example, if you tell 10 people to draw a picture of a house and some trees, you won't be surprised that 10 people will have totally different, unique imagination. The only thing I'd say is not to have any expectations. Because when you expect something from someone, you are already imagining, wanting love, or the person is bound to talk to me. My son or my child is bound to give me a phone call every week. He's bound to, because there's no connection between reality and that person. It's just my expectations. And the more I expect, and I'm making it farther than the reality, I'm making it unreal, because I'm expecting a piece of cake here, and what I have is just a slice of bread. I was not expecting slice of bread, I was expecting cake. I don't have it. That's a reality at home. I didn't bake a cake, I didn't buy a cake. Having no expectations from the person you're dealing with, it helps, because they have different state of mind, they have different way of perceiving things, they have different priorities. Maybe somebody didn't realize that they need to pay attention, they need to talk to you. And either if you can talk and make things clear, that's fine. But even if you've done that and that didn't work, and then you still keep on expecting that somebody will listen, that person will do as you said, you're expecting that thing is not going to change that person. So what we need to change is stop expecting, and then instead of expecting, focus your attention. Here, as a parent, if your child is not supporting, maybe focus on something else, doing other stuff. Here the take is no use of expecting anything from someone. So if you think your happiness lies in somebody else's hands, and good luck to you. We'll see how far you go. If you give the control of your happiness, your peace of mind in somebody else's hand, there are more chances that somebody else might take it away or throw it away. Ask yourself, why did I try to find my happiness in somebody else's life, through somebody else's acts? Everything is about focus, shifting focus, changing your perception, changing the way you see. Because in the bigger picture, there's a big world which is around, people around, and there is another world which is inside our mind. And this world interprets what we see in the outside world. So everything ends up coming to this world, what's inside your head anyway. So coming back to this same situation, another theory, the last one actually today I'd like to discuss, is polar bear and blue dolphin theory. So both the situations, you see, you're not being listened. You want to be listened, but you don't want. Even if you tell basically, okay, I learned from this video, and then I'm actually trying not to expect anything. I'll try to ignore if somebody's ignoring me. So in that situation, what's going to happen is like when you say yourself, I don't want to think about a blue car, I don't want to think about a blue car, what happens? You think of a blue car because so what is happening? You're telling yourself, you're reminding yourself, making yourself aware of blue car. And same thing happens here. So coming back to the point, so we don't want to see polar bear. We want to ignore the polar bear that's ignoring me. Somebody's not listening, or So if I keep on saying, I don't want to see polar bear, I don't want to see polar bear, it's not going to help. So what we need to do is we need to shift our focus again from polar bear to something else that is, in this case, is like blue dolphin. So if you shift your focus from you're trying to ignore, that your expectations, trying to not to have expectations, you're trying not to see things, you're trying not to see the polar bear, you should find something else to see. You need to engage your brain, you need to engage your mind to keep on thinking, to keep you busy, to keep occupied, because your brain needs continuous engagement, work, it needs thoughts, it needs some progress, it needs something interesting. So if you find your blue dolphin, in that your case could be anything, find something else to do when you're not being listened. Maybe you do some other work that makes you it takes you away from that polar bear. That'll help. If you find some other activity that is like a blue dolphin. So basically this theory says if you want to ignore one thing, you need to find something substitute. I hope you've got some value out of this video. And if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and share this video. Might be helpful for somebody else as well. And I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and stay blessed. Shukriya.